What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fanout Crew YouTube channel. It's been a little bit. We got Colby and Jonathan here tonight. Brian has the night off, as it were, so we wanted to get together and just do our usual live stream. It's been a little bit since we did a live stream. Hopefully our stream goes well tonight. I've got new internet, so we'll see how that goes. Um, what's going on, Richard? Good to see you in the chat, man. Welcome back. So John, man, how's it going, man? What you been working on? You won't stop talking about this game that you've been painting figures for. Tell me about that.
Well, really quick, Mr. Sullivan, if I may call you Mr. Sullivan.
I will allow it.
All right, thank you so much. No, so recently in my travels through my board gamingness, as it were, uh, I was looking for videos on Marvel Crisis Protocol, which those of you who don't know what that is, that's fine. It's a miniatures game that involves miniature Marvel characters. They go put a team together, go fight each other. Okay, wait a minute. That's Marvel Crisis Protocol. Well, anyway, while I was looking for this, I came across a video for this itty bitty little board game from Kickstarter called Marvel United. And holy hell, if I haven't fallen down that rabbit hole. Like there's digging and there's searching down it. No, I am just like plummeting down this rabbit hole. Marvel United is a co-op game that you play against the game itself. The game's rules change depending on what villain you put on the table. I believe Colby, I talked to you about how many different possible games. If you take all the heroes that are in this game, this is how many characters in this game. You take all the heroes in the game, you put them into teams of 2, which is the minimum requirement. You play against all the villains in the game. You have the potential to have over 3,500 games played.
Wow,
It
dude, that's
is
ridiculous.
bonkers, and that is without using the same piece. Now, I did the math as well. I was just like, well, because there isn't as many villains as there is heroes, you would play a villain a second time. You would play against a villain a second time before, like, if you started out, the very first game you played was Captain America and Iron Man. You would get back to a villain before you would get back to playing Captain America and Iron Man again. That, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's great. At the end of the day, it's really hard to convey without actually showing you the game. However, I'm having a blast painting these little itty bitty Marvel characters. Marvel is what has drawn me into this game. If it wasn't for the Marvel IP attached to this thing, there is absolutely no way I would be as crazy about it as I am. But it is an incredibly fun game, and I believe the Marvel IP is like the icing, cherry, and the 3 scoops of ice cream that goes with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you were to take Ultimate Alliance and put it into a board game form and not make it like a beat 'em up, but make it more of a strategy.
Yeah.
Is it like turn based?
It is, yeah. It's more turn based. It's again, you have 2 to 4 heroes sitting at a table trying to fight this villain. Each hero plays a card. That's all I've seen so far. I haven't seen any rules that some nerd's gonna see this shit and blow me up. No, but no. So you take you take a card, you play it, you do all the things that are listed on that card, and then the next person they play a card, and so forth and so on. And then after X amount of heroes activate, the villain activates, and he's trying to fulfill his villainous plot, which could be to take over the world, which is like 90% of the time. Or he's trying to kill everybody, like if you were playing against a Sabretooth from the X-Men franchise.
Okay, that
And
sounds awesome, dude. I really want to play it. I'd be interested in maybe like once we really figure out how to play it, maybe trying to kind of like film one and actually like, show people how to play. That could be cool.
So the thing, man, it is so. I think I've brought it over to your house once for a board game night. Me and you actually didn't get to freaking play. We just got to observe.
Yeah.
And well, I was coaching, and it's the core game is so simple. You play it one time, and like, oh. And then as you introduce different things, you're like, oh, this isn't letting me do this way anymore. Or now, not only do I have to do this, but I also have to do this. So I think just let y'all know how exciting my life is. Usually, like every night before I go to bed, I will set up and play a game or two. by myself. It is that simple to play. You yourself can pilot 4 heroes if you really
Oh,
wanted
I
to.
hadn't even thought about that. That's cool.
I,
Yeah.
dude, I've said it's a 2-player game. I play this thing by myself all the time. You can sit there, and I play it with a minimum of 3. It's really simple. You be like, you could chain your attacks together. You could sit there and just, you just get the sense of how different everybody is. It's just like Wolverine does not play the same way as Cyclops. The Avengers have different things going on than the X-Men. There is just again, I could sit here and go on about it for hours on end. It's just a lot of fun, and that, at the end of the day, that's what it is. It is a fun, fantastic game with an IP that is, I think it's the IP of all IPs right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Marvel's a juggernaut, pardon the pun. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to learning more about it. I mean, like I kind of just observed, like you said, I do want to play it, and we've got a game night coming up, so maybe we can do that soon because I really want to check it out. I know you've got like tons of stuff to continue painting, so have fun with that.
Oh my god! So yeah, not only do I have to continue painting, for your viewing pleasure, Colby, I will have every model expansion for this game by next Monday.
Wow. Okay.
I will
Yeah.
not have
You
to
have
spend
been down the
another-
rabbit hole. Jeez.
Yeah, I will be completely caught up with everything that it comes with this game on Kickstarter. It's not even available on Kickstarter. You have to. Right now, I'm paying the. I gotta look around, make sure. Lady doesn't hear me say this. I'm paying the late finder's fee as well.
Oh,
Right now,
jeez.
so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got that tabletopper from Kickstarter too. That thing is awesome. I love
Oh yeah, dude.
bringing that. It's heavy, but I like just to be able to take any like folding table or like dining room table and turn it into an actual like true gaming table with cup holders and neoprene mats and everything. That it's great.
I like the neoprene on my skin.
Yeah, it makes it picking up the cards are easier now. All right, let's get into some topics. So
Ooh.
you recently rewatched like the entire Stranger Things see all the seasons,
yeah,
right?
the
All
entire
episodes.
series.
Right.
The entire series up to now.
Can you believe it has been 3 years since season 3 ended? Like it came out in 2019 and that is just like shocking to me. Like I cannot believe it has been 3 years.
And so I want to say this, though, Colby, if you get bored, there is something so nostalgic, and it's not even the thing is the series isn't old. This is a newer series.
It's 2015 I think is when it started, or 20.
And there is something like you. That's what it did for me. I went back and of course I saw the trailer for season 4 that's en route. It'll be here not this Friday but next Friday, and it made me realize how much I missed this show. And I'm like, no, I don't miss it that much, whatever. And then I hit play on episode 1, season 1, and I hear all the music. I see these kids, these characters, and I'm like, I miss these guys. I miss these characters.
Totally.
And that's where I'm at, from everybody especially everybody they introduced in season 1. And because of what we got in later seasons, you see Papa, spoiler alert, you see in season 1, and you're like, what is the deal with this guy? He's going to come back in some respect. It's just like I want closure from season 4. And I completely understand, like, I think the only issue that Stranger Things, the new season, might run into, if they try to sit there and say 1 year later, I think that's where they're going to get into some trouble.
Yeah, there's going to be a time jump for sure.
There has to be, and they have to. And the trick is they got to justify, while if anyone's seen the trailer, it's not a spoiler that David Arbor, who plays Sheriff Hopper, is in a Russian prison.
Yeah, well, it's at the end of season 3 too. Remember, there's an after credit scene where they show that or whatever.
Yeah, so they will have to like show that. They're going to have to show how he gets out, and then they're going to have to say 3 years later. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's going to be the only hang up. Is they've got this, you can't sit there and be like, well, here's Hopper in this Russian jail, and then cut over to the kids that have aged clearly It's good. It's good. They're gonna look like 10 years old. That's the issue.
Unless he's been in prison for 3 years and they just do the time jump from the very beginning. We'll see. That would be.
We'll see.
Man, that'd be a
We'll
tough
see.
3 years.
Yeah, exactly. More power to him, but at the same time, David Arbor is used to Russian prisons ever since his run as
Yeah.
The Red Guardian.
Good call.
In, Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember, like, I haven't watched, I haven't like binged, rewatched like you have. So I just remember a lot of bits and pieces from this show. I remember watching season 1 with my wife, and we were just so, taken back to the 80s with this show. There was so much nostalgia with it, E.T., Super 8, Firestarter, that whole vibe, and I remember watching season 1 and I was like, is this the best show that I've ever seen? Like, is this the best? Is this the best season of television that I've ever seen? And then I watched season 2, when it came out, and I'm just like, I don't know how they made it better. Right? There's one episode of the entire series that I remember not really caring for, and that was when 11 was like on the run with her, like, gang or whatever. But I mean, like, you need that episode to get where they want to go. So I get it. I remember season 3 being just incredible. And dude, let's talk about this trailer for season 4 for a minute. Other than maybe Thor: Love and Thunder recently, has there been a better piece of music paired with the trailer ever? Like, this was incredible, dude. Separate Ways is a perfect song for season 4.
I tell you what, I still prefer, only because it's the theme of the show and where it gets me amped. I still prefer the season 2 trailer that has Michael Jackson's Thriller track to it.
That's great.
So yes, is this one amazing? Absolutely. Season 3 was Teenage Wasteland, I believe, by The Who.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, season 2's, first off, I was getting amped for more Stranger Things, and then they gave it to us, and the theme was Halloween, and they did Thriller. So to me, that one is still just drilled in my mind. I actually went back and rewatched all the trailers too, and I'm just like, man,
really?
This is oh yeah, dude. I was just like, I wanted to remind myself how amped I was when the new series were coming out. And it just, everything clicked. I was like, yep, I'm going to get right into this. I'm going to watch it again. I think, anyway, I'm not going to just go on a tangent. I'm going to we're going to have a conversation, or else I'm just going to nerd out and talk about everything. So I'm thinking, man, it's just like, in television, has there been a more iconic, like, original villain than the Demogorgon? It's just like, he's terrifying. And he's just like, there is that what the hell is he about him? Where's this thing coming from? And
then they have the Mind Flayer, and then the Demodogs, and now they have the other one from season 4. And it's like, I love how they're just I love how they're just all like Dungeons and Dragons villains. Like, that's just so perfect.
It's so good. It is so good. And now, and man, we could talk about, like, man. I'm just saying right now, there's a couple characters that if they die in the final season, we riot. Okay, Colby, I'm coming to your house, picking you up, we're grabbing the torches, we're marching on Hollywood or wherever the hell they want to make this show. You go back, Jesus, man, talk about the characters. It's just like, I see all of my friends in these kids when I was growing up.
Yep, same here.
It's just like, everyone's best friend is Dustin. Period. Everyone's best friend is Dustin. And then you have the shy, quiet one who, the late bloomer, which is Will. He's more artsy. He wants to stay a kid. He wants to be me, 40 years old, and still play video games and paint miniatures. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be me. And then there is Mike, who's got the intuition, like, the something ain't right. He's that guy. And then Lucas is the reasonable one, where you find out who Lucas is. Immediately out the gate, something's not right.
He's the street smart one.
We got to tell mom and dad. That's Lucas. Is like, the adults have to know. We can't deal with this. And again, we've had a friend in each one of those, but I don't think we've ever had a friend that can, I don't know, kill somebody with their mind. I don't know. But this is definitely 11's show,
Yeah,
or that's what they built it on.
I just remember season 1, like, they all just get on their bikes after playing D&D, and like it's getting dark, and they're like, we have to get home before sundown. Like that is such a like thing of our generation,
Yes.
And kids now are just like, what? Why is that so significant? And you can't really explain it. I mean, like if you got home after dark, like the wooden spoon had your name on it. You know what I mean? And so
it wasn't. And the other thing is, man, it's just like your friends were who lived next to you.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
you had to be able to ride your bike to them,
Right.
Else you didn't hang out with anybody.
Yeah, you knew everybody on your street, and like if you weren't at your house, you were at one of those 3 or 4 houses, and or you were at the arcade, or you were at the baseball field,
Yep.
or whatever.
If you were unsupervised at a baseball field, you better believe sundown. Don't come in. You do not step into that house after the sun's gone down. It's better to deal with what might be lurking inside or outside than dealing with an upset parent. Your ass wasn't home.
I mean, I remember like pulling into the driveway and just like getting off my bike like while running and just letting the bike go, like, and then run to the door because I was so close, and it's just like, you just don't get that anymore. And it's sad. I mean, like even the part in season 2 when they're trying to beat Max's high score on Dig Dug or all the other games and stuff, like that's not a thing now, and that's like one of the reasons Brian and I are so passionate about pinball. It's like it's a lost art. Like
there's a score involved.
Yeah, I've got a 7-year-old son, and he like looks at this thing and he's like, "What is this? What like is this?" And I had to explain to him
this
like
ancient tome.
And he loves it. Yeah, he loves it. So he gets mad though because he can't beat me, and it pisses him off.
Of course not.
He's got my competitive spirit. So it's cool.
There's no cheat codes on a pinball machine, man.
Nope. The cheat codes are nudging without tilting. That's how you cheat. Just nudge the table. But yeah, Stranger Things was like this sort of cultural phenomenon that just kind of like came out of nowhere. And I'm gonna ask you this question: is it the best thing Netflix has ever done?
If you like the other thing, sitting right here without having a list of shows that have come out on Netflix, I would say yes.
I think I think it's a resounding yes, because I can think of a couple of things that are really good, but like I can't think of anything that compares to the like impact that Stranger Things has had on our generation. Yeah. I mean, we had a season 3 binge party at Brian and Emily's where we all came over, sat on like it was like 10, 15 people there sitting on the couch in their PJs eating chips and drinking cherry Coke and stuff for all the episodes, and it was awesome. It's awesome.
Great, man.
And like that's I cannot believe it's been 3 years.
The only thing that I can even think of, if you say Netflix series that I remember having to sit down and just watch from start to Daredevil season 1, but I mean, here we go back to the Marvel IP, Daredevil, Punisher. I really like Luke Cage, the first season, and Jessica Jones.
I would say it's probably the best streaming show ever, like for any platform. There's been some great ones, but like I feel like everybody had Netflix in 2015, but Stranger Things made Netflix almost like a requirement. Like you just have to have it. Like like if you're our generation,
you want to watch Stranger Things. Gotta have Netflix.
Yeah, Cobra Kai is another one that is really, really good. Did you ever end up watching that?
I haven't watched it since season 1. I used to, back in my day, we watched it on a little thing called YouTube.
YouTube Red, yeah. That's actually where I saw it. Yeah, originally.
But no, I haven't, dude. I'm surprised when somebody says, "What are they on season 5?"
It'll be season 5 upcoming. That show.
I heard that. I was just like, what?
Yeah, that show is way better than it has any right to be. Like it's a ridiculous premise of a show picking up from another ridiculous premise, and it just works, dude. I don't know how it is. It's as good as it is, and it's so good. But getting back to Stranger Things, what we got, like 10 days left, I think, until season 4, right? Yep. Now they're breaking this up into 2 parts, aren't they?
Yes.
So my next question is this actually the end? Like, are they going to have a season 5, or is part 2 of season 4? Like, do we know when that's coming out? I haven't really researched it.
Yeah. It's the dates are on there. It's like I think it comes out in July.
Oh, so it's not like, okay, I was thinking they
No,
were doing like
it's
a
not next
Breaking
year.
Bad. I remember in season 5 of Breaking Bad, they had season 5A and then 5B, and they were a year apart. And I'm like, that's
No.
season 6. Like, what are you
It's
doing?
this
Like,
year. Yeah, it's
okay,
this year. It's either
I got
June or
time for that.
July. So, but is this the end? Now, yes and no. I will say that this is the end for Netflix series with these characters. I just think Stranger Things is one of those properties where you could be printing some damn money if you just do it again, like a sequel, not a new season, but you make Stranger Things with another
An anthology series
title. Yeah,
like American Horror Story, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You could
in
do something
fact,
like that.
I thought that's where they were going with this show. Like, I thought season 1 was going to be what it was. And then when they announced the story was continuing, I was like, I don't know how they're going to keep up with this. And they
Yeah,
just blew me away, you know?
yeah, if you remember the end of season 1, we get Will Byers. He coughs up that slug,
Right.
and that could that's a really good. And he has a flashback of the
Open
Upside Down,
ended. Yeah.
and that is like textbook Twilight Zone ending. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's gonna happen next type of thing. It's like
Like
it's
an
up to you to
Inception.
figure it out.
Inception with
Yeah.
the top. Is it really going to stop spinning or what? You know, it's
So
like,
yeah, you
leaves
could
it.
you
Yeah.
could totally you could have totally have left at that could have been the series finale.
Right.
And we could still be sitting here wondering what could have happened. But
I liken it a lot to how Moon Knight ended. You know, like,
yeah.
we could never see Moon Knight again, potentially. Okay, I'm just saying, like theoretically, like, if we never see Moon Knight again, then I think that the ending is enough. You know, I do think they're gonna bring him back into future stuff because,
Oh, absolutely,
duh. But
dude.
so yeah, Stranger Things I just loved, man. Like, it just worked, right? You know, like, you watch
Everything.
like it, and it was such a combination of different
Yeah.
80s things. You know,
Oh.
there's Goonies in there. There's, you know, like, just other
Keep going.
scary. I mean, like,
Poltergeist.
like I said, there's
Keep going.
there's ET. There's some Firestarter in there with the
Yep.
whole government, you know, coming after her.
Oh.
There's so much stuff, and it all just works. It's just the amalgamation of all these different, like, genres and things, and the kids are actually really good. The season 2 is Will's season to shine. I mean, like, he doesn't do much in season 1 because he's, you know,
No.
in the Upside
No,
Down, but he
yeah.
absolutely kills it in season 2.
All the actor's name is Noah Shep.
Yes, all of the kids are really good. Caleb McLaughlin, I think, is Lucas. He's really good. Finn Wolfhard is excellent. Millie Bobby Brown is one of the best actresses working today. I think she's great.
Amazing.
I can't wait to see this next season. I just hope that, you know, I want there to be a satisfying conclusion. I'm expecting some people to die, but that's I've seen too many Game of Thrones episodes to just assume everyone's gonna live. So yeah.
And I go back to season 3 because that's where we're going to be coming off of, and they have this little character in them. His name is Alexei, and he is a Russian scientist.
Yeah.
And he bonds with our skeptic, our guy who's believing that there's a million theories out there.
Conspiracy theorist. Yeah.
And how they get along, and they talk about how there's sexual tension between Joyce Byers and Hopper, and they need to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
And dude, okay, now if I might talk about the greatest 2 minutes in television history. Are you ready, Colby?
Hit me.
And Dustin and Sweet Susie are singing the Never-Ending Story theme.
It's great because like nobody expected her to be real, you know.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
And it's like, oh yeah, she's out of town, like, you know, like, and it worked so well, and I was like, man, that's awesome. Good for Dustin.
Now, the other cool thing is like, you go back and you watch this scene. Just go back and watch it, Colby. You owe it to yourself. And while they're singing this song, all the adults that are in this Russian facility have got this look on their face, like, fucking kids. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying? It's just like, and then you have to remember that's what pulls you out. It doesn't really pull you out of the movie. It reminds you this is a group of kids
Yeah,
fighting against Russians,
like in Goonies,
and
man.
this
And
and this universal or this multiverse interdimensional being. You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
these group of kids are combating all this stuff.
It's like the
It's just,
sheriff. The sheriff. Yep, that's them goobers. You know, and it's like,
oh my god.
yeah, this is such a well written show, and it really is for everyone too. I mean, there's comedy, there's drama, there's obviously tons of horror in it and stuff. But like that season one, just I don't remember a show hooking me as much as that did in such a short time. Like
Yep.
when they're like I said, I keep going back to the bike riding scene. I was like, okay, whoever made this is clearly like my age or around my age, had his or her circle of friends or whatever, and like they knew what it was like to grow up in the 80s. That's why Ready Player One just gets me. Not like the book especially, because like that book might as well be like written for me. Like I could not put that book down, and it was an audiobook, so I literally couldn't put it down. But I digest, as Seth MacFarlane would say.
Yes.
So yeah, we got 10 days left until season 4, and they're releasing, well, how many episodes do we know? The first part of
I just know it's
like
5 or
half of it.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 for the first one, 5 or 6 for the last one. And really quick, Cole, we're going to ask you a question. Do you ever skip the opening credits? Stranger Things.
For Stranger Things specifically, no, because that
Yeah.
theme is just too good. Like I never skipped it for Game of Thrones. I never skipped it for
Yep.
The Mandalorian, because it's like 2 seconds long, and like I don't skip it for shows that have iconic openings. There's a lot of shows that I watch, like Westworld.
Yeah.
If you've not seen Westworld on HBO, watch that opening and listen to the piano and stuff. It's incredible. Daredevil is another one that's really good.
Oh yeah.
And
Luke Cage. I thought the Luke Cage opening was great.
yeah, I only watched season 1 of Luke Cage, but most shows I do skip because I ain't got time for it. But like Supernatural, you know, like they would always do that. They would always do that little quick like thing, you know, the lead. I always hit this stupid microphone. That was a good show, but yeah, again, I digest.
Dude, again the neon red screams. You have seen that font on at least 10 million 80s movies.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And it was just like, this is so cool. And then
Yeah, like I
as I'm
said,
watching the opening credits, I'm like, Winona Ryder, that's Joyce Byers. And then I'm naming the characters as they
Yeah.
present the actor. And I'm like, man, I am ready. Every single time I hear that theme, I play that theme over and over and over and over and over when October rolls around. It gets me amped up for Halloween. I don't know why.
And it's not a really scary theme, like the Halloween theme, but you know, John Carpenter, like that's iconic. The Stranger Things theme is more of like a suspenseful type of build up, you know, like that theme is just amazing. Like you know it immediately when you hear it, just like the Halloween theme, like that. It gets you in the spirit, like, okay, this is October, right? Like we're like Stranger Things is an October show, like it just always has been for me.
You feel your heart
totally.
in that song. That boop, 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 boop,
Totally.
you know,
like
oh my god.
Like when I hear the Game of Thrones theme song, I think of April and May. It's just you know, that's just what that's when the show started. That's when I what I think of. Speaking of shows, all right. Speaking of Marvel, do you know about that She-Hulk trailer, man?
What do you mean? What She-Hulk trailer, Colby?
Oh, you haven't watched it? The hell was that?
Totally watched.
I was trying. I haven't done Cartman in a long time. I'm a little rusty. Yeah. So anyway, I am like ready for this show to come out, man. Like this looks like the MCU version of Ally McBeal, you know, and like I honestly am here for it, man. I can't wait for them to start breaking the fourth wall, and Marvel needs to have a truly like just comedic tone. And plus, it looks like she's not going to be holding back when it comes to, you know, the sexual tension. You know what I mean? I can't believe this was a Disney Plus show. So we'll see how far they go. Obviously, I'm not expecting anything crazy, but like, what do you think, man?
I'm 100% with you, dude. I want to see this show today. They have okay. This is amazing that we're having a female character that is a superhero that has a sex appeal to her, and she
Yeah.
knows it. And it is. First off, let's talk about that. Apparently, I don't know if this is gonna be like the first episode or he's gonna be sprinkled throughout. We're getting Big Daddy Mark Ruffalo.
I'm so
there.
ready for this, dude.
And so it's just like that's super cool. You said Ally McBeal. I want to talk about somebody that if they don't show up in this show, I'm gonna be just like brokenhearted. I want to see Jennifer cross the aisle from Matt Murdock.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I want
dude.
them.
I'll be shocked.
Like
I'll be shocked if he's not in this. I will be shocked.
That's dude. I'm ready.
Like,
I'm ready to see some Hulk out action. I'm ready to see. We saw freaking Emil Blonsky. Like,
yeah,
the actor that plays
Abomination.
Emil.
Yeah. Oh,
oh my gosh.
Chris Noth or whatever. No, Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. Yes. That's the first time we've seen Tim
Chris
Roth.
Noth. Chris Noth is Sex in the City. Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, first time we get to see Tim Roth since the Incredible Hulk in a Marvel property.
Well, he's in Shang-Chi for like 2 seconds, but I don't think.
That's Abomination.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Tim Roth. No, I mean, what is it? I think I just checked. This trailer has should be about 2.5 million views right now. It's less than 3 hours old. So
that's crazy, dude.
There's a lot of people that I think they're jazzed about it. If you're like me, you've seen it 4 or 5 times already. Hope we get the whole, make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry speech. Because there's those scenes like, where she's got the green in the eyes. This very reminiscent for the Hulk TV series.
Yes, I got that vibe too, big time.
This is just like I say this with. I used to be able to say this about Marvel properties. You have to try to mess this up, and that's how I feel about this show. That it feels where I'm sitting right now, it feels good, and I'm like, they will have to do something stupid, make me have this look on my face when we're doing our review.
Yeah, I know Brian said that he wasn't really feeling it. I'm interested to see what his reasoning is with that. I mean, it may not be for him. That's fine. I did hear some people say, and I think you even mentioned that Diane said that the CGI was just okay, and like I've gotten to the point where like we've advanced so much that like not everything can be Thanos in Infinity War, right? No. Like that is the best CGI I think I've ever seen, and
I agree.
Not everything can be that good, but as long as we're not talking, the Scorpion King from The Mummy Returns, then as long as it doesn't take you out of the show or the movie or whatever. A lot of people said the Moon Knight CGI was garbage, and I'm just like, I thought it was fine. I mean, it's not supposed to be real, guys.
You're not gonna take. It's just like, okay, so the CGI takes you out of the movie, but this green being lifting a car above their head is not taking you out
exactly.
of the movie.
Like there's a suspension of disbelief,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's gonna be good. The actress that plays She-Hulk, I cannot remember her name, and I know I usually know it, and I'm blanking on it. She is really good in a show called Orphan Black, where she's like, her character is basically like a clone, and she plays like 5 or 6 different iterations of different clones, and she has different personalities for each one, and sometimes she's in the scene like 4 different times, like 4 different people, and the logistics with filming that would have been a nightmare, but she's excellent. I can't wait for this show, man. Mark Ruffalo is back. I don't know if we're gonna get. I was watching the trailer on my phone and I couldn't really hear it that well, but I'm gonna check it out probably later. But we only see him in his like Professor Hulk form. We don't see Mark Ruffalo himself, right?
Don't think so. I do know that there is a trailer. I think it was like the teaser trailer that came out for this.
He's in that one by himself.
He's in that, but it's like
it's a fourth wall scene. Yeah,
it's a fourth wall scene.
Yeah. And it was that was very reminiscent of the David Banner show. Yes. The way he's kind of standing and stuff. So we'll see where they go with that. Mark Ruffalo is awesome. I am wondering if we're going to get any kind of like explanation as to how he kind of, because at the end of Shang-Chi, he's back into his like regular, Bruce form. So I'm curious if they're going to go into that or what. We'll see. I've enjoyed all the Disney Plus shows so far. Hawkeye is what it is. It's not my favorite, but I still enjoyed it. Moon Knight I thought was excellent. I loved Loki. WandaVision is amazing. Falcon and Winter Soldier is very good overall. I haven't watched a bad show. I'm a little leery of Ms. Marvel, but we'll give that a shot. See how it goes.
To what you're talking about right now, I think the only show I've ever had a gripe with is, well, technically, hang on. The first episode of WandaVision did not enjoy. However, that second episode, thank God they released it at the same time, or I might not have come back next week.
I agree. Yeah.
So anyway, the only gripe I have with all the Disney Plus Marvel shows is if you take your powers away from a superhero, that is not a cliffhanger in a Marvel show, and I shouldn't be. I don't know. To me, I'm just like, okay, that isn't a good cliffhanger because there is a 99.99% chance he's getting his powers back. I think that those kind of issues need to be resolved. Like, if you want that to be the episode, you need to have it at the beginning and have it resolved by the end. Because I think it's just because my brain's like, that's filler. It's like they're going to use the entire next episode to get this guy his powers back.
And you're talking about Moon Knight, I assume.
I'm thinking about Moon Knight. I'm talking about hell, like I said, the first thing of WandaVision. You're just like, okay, she's a super being. What's going on? Why is this in black and white?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then she fixes it and blah 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 blah. And then what other shows like that? I guess Sam giving up the shield, but again, that was a plot point, so I can't really get mad at that. But like, man, he's got to get that shield back. This is weird. But without giving him the shield, we don't get the U.S. agent. So there's a that kind of stuff I understand, and when I watch the entire show, I get it. But sit there, like in Moon Knight's case, I didn't need the entire episode for this guy to be powerless and in this underworld thing for me. It could have been easily one line like, oh, we figured it out, between Mark and Steven. Oh, we just kind of figured this out. We didn't have to go to the Egyptian underworld and check all this. Now, is it gorgeous? Yes. Is it beautifully shot? Yes. Is it beautifully executed in the acting and the direction? Yes. I didn't like it in my story, though.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's a fair criticism. It's just like, oh, okay, well, you could have done without that beautiful scene. I could have, because I want to see Moon Knight kicking ass.
Yeah, I think She-Hulk is gonna lean a lot more into the comedy and a lighthearted tone. Like, this is gonna be Disney's first attempt at a green female version of Deadpool. Okay. But not like, PG-13, right? I think that this is gonna be a hit for them. I've always liked shows that break the fourth wall. It's just, like Community did it all the time with one character.
I would be 100%. I would be 100% okay with MCU's Law and Order starring She-Hulk.
Absolutely.
I'd be okay with that. I'm not looking at it as just like lawyer by day, freaking robots by night. That would be badass. But at the same time, man, if it's She-Hulk sitting there and convicting like all these minor Marvel villains, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's just like pointing shit out. It's just like, oh yeah, and this is not true because this is the unicorn, or Ulysses, like a villain along the lines of Claw from Black Panther.
Right.
Those little itty bitty insignificant villains, and then they're all just like getting put into the raft, and that's why she has to go hang out with Onsky.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think that lawyer shows can always work well. It's just a lot like medical shows. They're never going to have their never going to run out of content ideas. There's always stuff that you can create because of the premise of the show. I do think you nailed it earlier, and I didn't even consider this, and I don't know why I didn't, but like Daredevil has to be in this. Has to. So I'm looking forward to see how they do kind of intertwine the Netflix stuff, with the. And I understand they're probably just variants. Like these may not be the same versions that we're going to see in the MCU, but they've already done it with Kingpin and Daredevil. I'm interested to see what they do with Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones potentially. I don't know what their plans are for that, but I'm interested to see it. So, yeah, man. Well, it's good, catching up with you and stuff. I definitely want to check out Marvel United. You'll have to kind of, bring that over next Friday or whenever it is, and we'll check that out.
We could just let me know. You get home from work one day, you're like, hey, do you want to Marvel United over? The answer is, Colby, yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
I will be right over with Marvel United, and we will play until you're like 2:00, dude. I gotta go to bed.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's do it because I wanna check it out. Just kind of sitting there and observing, and I helped out a little bit, but I wasn't officially playing, so I want to get the feel for
Yeah, man, put your hands on it. That's what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, plus, I mean, the figures are very cool. I mean, they're very like, what is the word I'm looking for? Their heads are huge. They're very stylized, I guess. Like they're.
I believe that the style is. I think it's chibi or.
Yeah.
It's chibi art style.
Yeah.
Is the figures.
And you did a really good job painting the ones that I saw. So hopefully we'll be able. Like I said, maybe we can once we get in the swing of it, we can actually film one and kind of like do a live stream on it because that would be cool. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and I want to show you this murder mystery game that I got. You can. Well, it's called Deception Murder in Hong Kong. And
you told me a little bit.
Hey Jeff, what's up, man? Jeff said he wants to play. Jeff said he wants to play Marvel United. Yeah, dude, we'll come over and we'll do it.
Absolutely, Jeff. Dude, more merrier, man. I have enough stuff. I could probably set up like 8 games.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. So this murder mystery game is really cool. You can play it with 4 players, but you can play it with up to 12, which is really cool because usually when you get above like 6 or 7 people, you're limited on your game selections.
Yeah.
But this game really like the sweet spot is like 5 or 6. But basically one player is what they call the forensic scientist. The other players are all investigators, but one of those investigators is the murderer. And nobody knows who is who except the forensic investigator is public knowledge. Like he doesn't actually play, or he or she doesn't play the actual investigator role. There are cards in front of the investigator or the forensic scientist, and that person will choose specific attributes on those cards that help the person or the investigators figure out who the murderer is, what they how they committed the crime and what evidence they left behind and stuff. And all the while the murderer is basically trying to play the game without making it obvious that they're the murderer. So they're trying to like blame other people, right? And it's just really cool. And there's also like, depending on how many people you play with, if you play with 6, you can have like a witness, and the witness knows who the murderer is, but can't say, because if the murderer guesses who the witness is, the murderer wins.
That'd be a terrible witness. That'd be a terrible, terrible, terrible witness.
So yeah, the murderer gets a chance to kill the witness and get away, and it's awesome. So we're gonna play that.
Hey man, always down.
Yeah. But yeah, Jeff, dude, come over on the 27th, man. We are. Wait, is that the day that Stranger Things comes out? Holy crap, it is.
It's the day. I might watch the first episode.
I was gonna say, yeah, we'll turn it on. But yeah, I want to play some Marvel United, man. I want to check out some of the characters and stuff. So, anyway, guys, we are gonna go ahead and end this one. Thanks for joining us tonight. Look out for some more videos soon. Like and subscribe, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. Jonathan, you got anything before I turn it off?
No, man. This is a lot of fun. I don't know how the hell we could talk about absolutely nothing for an hour.
I know. Well, that's just. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do.
It's just like, dude. It's just like this time flies. But yeah, man. Do I have anything going on? No, man. I'm going to get off this headset and close Discord, and I'm gonna
go start painting.
Table.
Yep.
Start painting.
All right, man. Well, I don't want to keep you from it. All right, guys. Jeff, I'll see you on next Friday, man. Come on over. We'll play some games. Brian, I don't think you can make it, so we'd love to have you. But as always, guys, fan out. See you later.